If you guys are looking for a place to get some reliable Ultimate Team coins, be sure to check the link in the description below to cointraders.co and use code LEGACY for 5% off of your purchase. How's it going, guys? Welcome back. I hope you guys have gotten your chance to go out there, play some of the beta tuner, give your thoughts, give your opinions, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the beta. I think there was a lot of good things we could take from the beta. I think there was some good things we could take from the regular gameplay prior to the beta. Hopefully we can see them mesh together and get a better product at the end of the day. But today I just kind of want to talk about, the beta, some of the things I thought about the beta. But more importantly, I kind of have a couple questions with what I ran into with the beta. Maybe you guys can relate, maybe you can't relate. But the first thing I do want to say is, like I said, there's a lot of good things in the beta. There's a lot of good things in the gameplay. We'll see what happens from here. Secondly, personally, I wasn't a fan of the beta back then. I'm not really a fan of it now. But again, you really can't please everyone when it comes to the game. So, I'm in the minority here that doesn't really like the gameplay. It's not a big deal. As long as most people are happy, then, why change things, right? I understand that completely. It's not a big deal if I'm one of the few people that don't like the game. But it really is the first time since I can remember. I said to myself, let's go play some NHL. And then I remembered, wait a second, the beta's out. I'm not falling for that one. But some people loved and enjoyed the beta, and that's great. I'm glad you guys had fun. It's just, it really wasn't for me. So I filled out my survey. I kind of, expressed. I thought that this part of the beta was great. This part was not so great, and now I'm just kind of hoping for the best from there. One thing I'm slowly starting to learn, though, is gameplay in NHL is like the equivalent to politics in real life. So I'm just going to keep it nice and short and simple about the gameplay, and I'm a fan of realism in NHL 19, and I think the beta tuner lacked a little bit of that in areas. But again, that's okay. It's just my personal opinion. It doesn't have to necessarily be right. But I bring all this up because I have a question for everyone, and this concept slash area, what have you, has been intriguing me a lot lately. So I'm going to start with this. Did you like the beta when it was originally out, or did you not like the beta when it was originally out? And now the second follow-up to that is, do you like the current beta right now, or do you not like the current beta right now? And to follow that question up with this question, what game mode did you play back when the beta was originally released? And what game modes did you primarily play now when the beta tuner was released here in January? I will say this, though. I did end up playing about 15 to 20 online versus ESHL, offline hut, all that stuff. Everything besides comp seasons, probably combined gameplays wise, though I didn't really play comp seasons at all, because I did find it important that I go out there and try to play as many games as possible to try to give good feedback that's going to help improve the game. And the very first thing I played was a versus game. First thing I noticed was, wow, this skating is phenomenal. The cuts, the turns, L2 hitting, all that stuff, it felt very beta-esque. It felt very good to me. Then I go and read on Twitter and see the skating feels slow, the L2 isn't close to how the beta was, etc. And I'm thinking like, how can that be? Are people complaining? Is this actually a problem I didn't notice? So I played another versus game. I still felt like the skating was nice. Now, granted, keep in mind, I was using the Blue Jackets, which playing with the Blue Jackets is pretty much like skating around with 1899 Gretzky, so obviously it's going to feel a little bit better. But then later on, I go ahead and go play some ESHL, and that's where I kind of felt what people were upset about. I felt sluggish. I played offline hut. Granted, it's offline, but it was solo challenges with a higher overall team than my overall versus Blue Jackets team was using. And again, I felt sluggish. Now, bear in mind, when I say sluggish, I mean I feel like I'm kind of skating in mud, but I still feel like the skating was smooth. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. Like a smooth skating type of thing, I guess. Because I guess if you were to go from like NHL 18 to NHL 19, you could say, wow, the skating is so much smoother. Even if you're sluggish, it still feels like it doesn't have that clunky feeling. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I guess like if you were to say it felt like the skating was smooth, but you were smoothly skating slow. It sounds very confusing, I understand. But that was the big reason why I asked what game modes you played and how you felt about the tuner, because I'm curious to hear if anyone else noticed this. Did you notice a difference in ESHL to playing versus or versus the hut? Did you play every game mode? Did you notice anything different in those game modes? Because what really interests me about this, that may be able to provide some answers from people that are claiming this isn't a beta tuner, is this. Hut was not in the beta. You could either play ESHL or you could play versus. And that's where I bring up like my 7,000th question of the day is, could this have been what hut felt like in the beta if it was in the beta? I almost feel like I'm presenting a conspiracy theory here to an extent, but it is a fact that in previous years, the hut and the ESHL tuners, they were different. Just for an example, if you were to play hut or ESHL and, tried spamming a poke check, in ESHL, it seemed like you had to be a little bit more accurate, you had to be a little bit closer to the player, as opposed to if you play hut, it seemed like you could poke from a mile away and or from behind a heck of a lot easier than you could ESHL. But that's just an example. Regardless, just a lot of questions today I'd like to hear thoughts on. Feel free to share your opinions as well about the beta tuner in general, not just relating my questions, of course. But don't forget to fill out your feedback survey for the tuner as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what EA is going to be doing with all the feedback. Hopefully once we get all that feedback in, they revert us back to the old tuner, and then hopefully we get a new tuner update down the road here in the future. We'd be very, very interested to see how that turns out. Hopefully we get a better product from all of this. At the end of the day, that was the goal of EA, and hopefully that is what we get, a more enjoyable NHL. Granted, it's later during the year. It's more enjoyable, and it's something we can build on for NHL 20. We'll see what happens, though. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.